everybody? This is Hoosier Faithful with Jason Simpson on Indiana football. We're talking a little football today, getting ready for this UCLA team that's coming to town. This is only the second ever meeting between the two programs. First meeting was on September 14th, 2024, and of course we beat them decisively in UCLA at the Rose Bowl, 42-13. Indiana leads the series 1-0. UCLA started the season, 2025 season, 4-0, but have won 3 games in a row coming into town, and they have been improving tremendously with their new head coach and new offensive coordinator, defensive coordinator. They let their coach go, and since then they have gone 3-0. Indiana, of course, we entered the season at 7-0 and currently ranked at number 2. So I'm really excited to see how we handle this. Some of the questions I have is how UCLA responds after their early season struggles and whether momentum continues. And whether Indiana can maintain their dominance, having beaten UCLA decisively last time, and avoid any letdown. Of course, the home field factor will be packed strong. Can't wait to see how it goes. So I would really like to have all the fans be loud, be proud, get into the stadium a little earlier, so when they're done with warm-ups, they can see that we're going to be packed, which I know that they'll think that, but one thing having a major program is that you're in there before the actual game begins.
They got beer there inside there too, so don't worry.
Yeah,
they have a cooler out there. You can come grab yourself a beer. It's a little pricey. It's a little pricey, but you can do it.
Yeah, a little pricey, but you can do it. So, well, let's get into this. The game info, of course, is tomorrow at noon. Big noon kickoff going to be showing up at 10. So people get over there. The big noon kickoff, show your Indiana pride. Be loud, and we need to have more of these come to Bloomington. Even though last year we had a lot of all the game day hosts there for everybody. But, we really need to have more of them. It's great that big noon kickoff's coming off, and that's going to be something that I'm curious about, as UCLA currently is practicing at Bloomington South High School field at the moment, and so that's exciting for me to know. I mean, you look at me like you didn't know this.
I didn't know they're over there. Get off my fucking field.
Watch your language. we gotta teach you about language, But I'm not. Yeah. But I don't know. Oh, you got me all flustered now. So Indiana. What I'm looking for on the offensive keys this game is that who's going to be the matchup this week. I think it's going to be E.J. Williams, because they're going to have number 1 on Surratt. They're going to have number 2 on Coop, and number 3 is a question mark. Well, who do you cover?
That's going to come with how they did Maryland. They're going to have them doubled up. Yeah. It's common to see that. We have all these, really good wide receivers, and it's basically pick your poison.
Yeah, pick your poison. And another thing I'm curious about in Indiana's offense is I'm curious about Hemby. I'm hoping that he's not injured, but the last game, he wasn't on the field very much.
With that kind of situation, you just pray for the best. Right. Hemby's a strong dude.
Yeah.
He's a real strong dude. One of the better running backs I've seen come to IU.
I'm saying a lot with
what we've had before, yes, but
with Tevin and
stats don't lie.
In your age group, I'll go all the way back to Anthony Thompson.
Yeah, he's in my age group. Let me reform. In my age group, I'm saying he's up there, but I'm not saying he's the best.
Right.
We've seen good running backs come out of here, play in the NFL.
We certainly have. Another thing I would like to see this game is I'm wondering if we can get the tight ends involved this week, because I think that's going to be an important matchup this week, because they're going to be open in the middle of the field, the tight ends on a passing game, I think, this week.
I'm looking at it right now, the defense setup of UCLA.
Yeah.
And
they use multiple defenses, so
their schemes are insane. Like, I'm looking at this right now. Like, I have it paused right in a good spot where I'm seeing how their defense looks, and getting the tight ends involved would help us tremendously.
I 100% agree with that. I really think that we got to get Sales. He has not been involved as much as I thought he would be in this offense. I know that both guys, Sales and the other tight end, I always have a hard time with his name, but both of those guys have been great, and oh man, Riley Waskowski. I should know how to say that, being, Western New York area some of my life.
It's Polish.
Yeah, and you know how it is over there in Buffalo. Everybody's.
Yeah, and also your daughter-in-law has a Polish last name too.
Yeah.
So you need to learn
and he don't learn how to pronounce that, I guess, too. Yeah. But anyway, I'm just really excited to see if we can get the tight ends involved, and see if we can get. We're going to have to get. Fernando's been amazing this season. I have questioned him in the beginning of the season, but then last week and against Oregon, I was seeing those throws that are NFL caliber throws.
Yeah.
And the feet work, the footwork that I've started to see, the eye awareness. Everything I'm seeing of NFL quality quarterback.
And this is another thing too, and this goes with his pass at Cal. He's played UCLA. He knows what he's going to be going up against.
The Pac-12.
Yeah, he knows what's going on, right? And I have full faith that and the thing about Fernando is that he gets better every game that I see.
Yeah.
He adapts very well.
Yeah, he does. The offensive coordinator and co-offensive coordinator have done a really good job at adjusting during the game on Indiana's offense. And this defense that they're playing against, they use a multiple defense, and I was really impressed with how they play defense. They bring their linebackers right up to the line and go,
Go.
And yeah, they come in right to the line. They'll either drop back into coverage, or they'll show they're going back into coverage and turn around and run right at the quarterback.
Yeah, that defensive format is hard, especially on the line. I've always been a defensive guy, and this is the same defense we used to run in middle school. Throwing schemes, getting the QB unaware of what's going on.
Yeah.
Because you see us move back, and your first thing you're looking at is, okay, what's my X doing? What's my Y doing? What's my Z doing?
Right.
Then boom, you're getting hit by an outside linebacker.
Right.
That's like the big thing. Now, granted, I've never gotten to play at a college level.
Yeah.
There's a lot more to it than what I know.
Right.
But the one thing that I'm very good at is eyeing out what defense is doing what, or what offense is doing what. And as I'm looking at it now, I can tell you that both of the defensive ends are going to be standing up. You got your defensive tackles right now, right over. One's right actually over the center. You have your middle linebacker and your outside linebacker.
Nose tackle. We have the nose tackle over the center.
Yeah, you have the defensive tackle sitting right over the center. I'm seeing it right here.
Yeah.
And then you have your cornerbacks, and you have a strong safety up against one of their best wide receivers out of Maryland. So you have the cornerback and the strong safety both looking. They're in a spy, is what I'm looking at now, because you have that free safety up there watching, who's actually lined up with the. Anyhow, I'm going too down in the depth in this one, but I think with our veteran group up in the trenches, we have to be mobile, watch. You don't try to stay completely focused on your one guy, because UCLA is very good at hiding.
Yeah, they are. They have a couple of really good linebackers. John Bonds. He has been a statistical standout with around 66 total tackles with a forced fumble and pass deflection. The depth of the defense and experience seem thin, though. The program has had turnover in defensive staff pieces, so coaching changes change that, and they haven't been very good against the run.
Yeah, they really have to. The defensive line on UCLA are really good at closing in those gaps really quick. I think this might be more of a job for our running back. Black hits the hole hard, fast. He's nimble. He can take contact. Hemby is a great guy too. Don't get me wrong, but I want to see Hemby, get up there in the front line. Making those linebackers, move, because that's who they're going to be focused on.
Yeah.
They're going to be focused on our main guys. They're not going to be. They're going to be more focused on Fernando, and they're going to be focused on, our running back, our
three-headed dragon.
Yeah, like
Martin, and I'd like to see him get some more yards, because every time that he's played, the kid quickly racks up yards, and it just amazes me.
I have a feeling, that we're gonna be watching a very good game come tomorrow.
Oh, I do too. I think this is going to be, closer than we ever would think. What people think it's going to be. Everybody's trying to say it's going to be a blowout and all, but
no, we need to come in here like it's another game. Ranked, like not another game ranked. That's the wrong way to look at it. This is our first game.
Right.
This is our first game, and it's time to go. You don't come walking in here, we're ranked number 2 in the country,
So we're going to win the game.
Yeah, no, you don't look at it that way. You come in there, all right, it's time to, sorry, go a little Canadian here, but it's time to go.
Yeah.
There's no stop, there's no hold back. The time that I stop is when it's in the fourth quarter, and that clock says 0-0-0.
Right. I agree with that totally. I mean, and that's something that I always coach as a football and hockey coach.
Yeah.
It's, you play to the last down, you play to the last whistle. You
don't stop, you're running suicides.
Yeah.
Sorry, you're giving me flashbacks over here.
Yeah.
That's what. Sorry, a little off topic here. That's what sucked about having my own father as a coach. You thought practice was over?
Yeah. No.
Chase, come here. What did you do wrong? I don't know. This was in the second quarter. What did you do wrong?
I've been really impressed with their defense when they like a bend no break attitude that UCLA's defense has. I mean, I don't know the statistics on the fourth, red zone efficiency for them. I don't have that in front of me, but what I see on film, though, I've been impressed by the bend no break attitude they have.
Yeah. And also with this kind of defense too, and Maryland got lucky on a couple of these plays, I will say. They're gonna slip. They're purposely gonna move our linemen out of the way for their linebackers to come. Right. So I just seen. Sorry, I was just watching what they did on this play because I was curious.
They do what we did last year on the front.
Yeah.
They really do, because when we had CJ and Carpenter in there, they would push them out, and that way we could get
Fisher.
Fish in there, or we would get Kamara
Yeah.
in there, which he hasn't had many sacks this year, but they've been double teaming.
Yeah, they've been doubling up on him. But like I was just saying, I just watch what their defensive line do, and they trick that center to doubling up on the right side so they can send both the linebackers in. Something that we have to watch out for with this defensive group, is those strong safeties. They're going to show like they're up in zone, but they're actually on man. They're watching. They have
They're
their
on a spy.
Yeah, they're on a spot constantly.
Yeah.
And these guys have hands and they can run.
Yeah.
They have hands and they can run. Now, if we can get through that second level, right, with some quick throws, we have the resources we need to utilize.
Right.
Okay. We need to utilize this against the team because they're fast, they're nimble, their defensive coordinator, great guy, a lot of respect for him. He's smart.
Yeah.
He adjusts in the second quarter just like we adjust.
Yeah.
Okay. And so I have a bunch of my guys texting. Anyhow, we have to watch out what they're doing, and what I'm truly hoping for. What I'm truly hoping for, and I know our group is, one of the best in the nation. Our group needs to come out and pick these things up. It's going to be in the first quarter. This is going to be a first quarter game. This is going to decide whether or not we're going to walk out of this. It's going to be fast. It's going to be a fast-paced game.
It's going to be a hard-hitting game.
Yeah, with Nico in there. Sorry, and we're flipping to UCLA's offense.
Right.
Last night, Coach was talking about how they had the ball for 32 minutes, gave their defense 27 minutes to rest. Man, as a defensive person, if I had 27 minutes to relax.
Yeah, their time of possession was ridiculous.
But then we talk about what, the critics say, They talk about how, how fast we let the ball off in this. I don't like that. I want to see, ambition. I want to see poise. I want to see tough, relentless, This is going to be a hard game. Just because, it says on there, on a losing streak. But yeah, we have to be relentless in this game. We can't back down. We need to move forward.
I was just trying to look up what the red zone was but I can't get it. So yeah, heading on. on up now, we'll talk about our offense against their defense. You know what? It's pretty crazy on how awesome our offense has been this season, especially when we go to some of the big games like Oregon and so on and so on. I mean, every team in the Big Ten is a tough game. People don't. I don't think the general fan knows what is happening in front of them when it comes to like play calling, strategy. They just see the win, they see the statistics of it, but in all actuality, they don't understand what's going on behind the scenes or during the game, the chess match.
Like, and I think that just comes with the helmet and shoulder pads. I wouldn't call my high school a tall level, but I mean, we played in 5A, and putting that helmet and pads on and getting down to those nitty gritty games, I think that's where it really starts to truly build you as not only a football player, but as a fan.
Right.
I sit there and Lord knows, I sit there at 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, already studying up on the next 3 teams.
Right.
Because I know as a player that, has played, will sit there and visualize everything from the 10-yard line to the other 10-yard line, because I'm visually seeing what is going on. Okay, so my team's doing this. Where is this going? How are we going to do this?
Right.
Where's the open slots at? And this comes with a different mental. Now, granted, some of these people have been watching football for 40, 50, 60, 70, some maybe 100 years.
We have one of those.
Yeah. So I'm going to take the grant out on that one, okay?
Last week we had the young lady there that was 100 years old and been the ticket holders for
76 years.
76 years. Wow.
Anyhow, I think this comes with shoulder pads and a helmet, playing, as a starter, playing as a starter and being in that film room and seeing all your guys from the game before completely drained. And that's why I think the Michigan State game was rough. It's because you took over 1,000-mile trip, and
then you come back.
Then you come back and you play this game.
Yeah, UCLA, I just think about them right now. They were on the East Coast, had to fly back home, get ready, and come back this way.
Man, that props to them, man.
And another thing is the game time for them is 8 a.m.
Sorry, I'm looking at my new helmet for next year. It looks dope.
Yeah.
Sorry.
But so where were we? We got
it. Where we're talking about, like, some of the fans that don't really understand what it's like or what kind of structure you see whenever you're on the field.
Yeah, it's like let's give you an example. Let me rephrase. So UCLA, they use multiple defensive fronts.
Yeah.
Okay. So sometimes they'll be in a 3-4 type defense. Sometimes like a 4-3, 3-2-5, 4.
Like, they have multiple schemes, and that's a very hard defense to go up against.
That's a hard defense to go up against because you're wanting to get what, as an offensive coordinator, what their weakness is going to be, and and their scheme's going to be on certain plays that you want to run. Who you want to get, what your goal is to get the ball to as your number 1 receiver.
Right.
Your number 2 receiver, right? 3, 4 person. What kind of offensive line, our offensive line is going to do in this scenario, that scenario, and that scenario, and what the defensive front is showing you and what the linebackers are showing you.
Yeah.
You know, and how important that your center can tell your line what I am seeing. What your wide receivers can tell the quarterback what I am seeing.
Yeah.
You know, what your tight end's saying, what I can see, and what your running backs are saying, what am I seeing in front of me? And people, I don't think the common fan or the average fan knows what that is. I'm trying to explain it best I can. But you know, when we're watching a game at on TV or at the stadium, we're looking at quarterback's feet,
Yeah.
how he's standing. Is he signaling? Is he going to run or is he going to pass? We're looking at where the tight end is at. If he's gonna chuck or is he going to go out? You know, what the tackle against the defensive end is doing, how the defensive end is forming up against our tackle, and how defensive tackles against a guard or the nose tackle on the center. You know what I mean? But that's stuff that we're seeing. You know, that I'm seeing, and I don't. You know, when I say I watch film, I don't think people understand. Like, you know, this week I didn't have as much time as I usually do to watch film because I've been dealing with my mom and your grandmother in the hospital and everything else and all other things going on. So I haven't had time.
I've been watching.
Chase has been watching, but I usually watch at least 20 hours, 30 hours of film.
That's it.
But
I'm just roughing you, bud.
you know what I mean? I really do. I watch the full games that the teams are playing next. I watch the games that they've played in the past. I'm watching for this week. I don't really get into expanding into the next week until the next week's here.
Yeah.
Because I want to see what the matchup's going to be. I don't know about, you know, who the injuries are going to be and key positions. So I'm always watching this upcoming week against the teams they played against in the past. And the last 3 games that UCLA has played on film is a totally different game that they played before.
Man, they use so we're a follow back to the Michigan State game. It's something we struggled with.
Right.
It's something that UCLA also does, and that's the screenplays.
Yeah.
You know, I'm hoping we see this. I hope that, you know, Fisher's the one with the comms. He can see.
Yeah, Haynes and
like he can understand, because also with UCLA they run a lot of RPO.
yeah, they do.
You know, I have it broken down right here in front of me too on the RPO. You know, so you know if that lineman comes up those 3 hashes, you best believe that ball's coming to you.
Right.
Something that we have studied for a long time once we started figuring out what RPO was.
Right.
Is that if that centerman's coming up on those 3 hashes, it's going to be a run up the middle. It's coming dead at you. Because everything that QB is doing, he's looking at the safeties. He's looking at the linebackers. Okay, so linebacker, outside linebackers covered up against on my slot.
Cornerback, no, everybody.
Right? I'm running that ball.
Yeah.
I'm running that ball. So just to be there, be squared, you know, understand the process and the breakdown. Man, and Nico is a smart.
He's a smart quarterback. I know people have been playing on, you know, picking on him and everything else because of him and his dad and what they did, and you know. But all honesty, I don't really give a crap.
No,
I don't, because he's a good quarterback, and he has some really good talent around him to help him, and depending on the way his leg is, he can turn and go.
Yeah.
And he's very fast and very strong.
Yeah.
He's a big quarterback with a lot of strength. Like he reminds me of Josh Allen in a lot of ways. He really does.
Yeah, he like you said, like how we're constantly watching. Nico is, he's really good at getting into that. If he has to flick the ball, he will.
Yeah.
He's just like Fernando. The dude, believe it or not, can do a 60, 65-yard throw. Nothing. Like he can utilize his arm a lot, and also he can run.
Right.
We step out of that box and he sees an open, wide, field. He's just gonna be like, go. Somebody have to watch out for it. I can't stress this enough. He knows what an intense game is like.
Yeah.
He played at Tennessee.
Yeah.
Think about that. Tennessee is SEC, aren't they?
Yeah.
Well, there we go.
Yeah.
They played at Tennessee. Good old Rocky Top. He knows what it's like to play against these defensive teams, these high-ranked teams, and come out and show off.
God, I had flashbacks to the Gator Bowl right in front of me.
Man, I'm still mad at you for that. You didn't take me.
Yeah, that was woo. But anyway, we'll stop that right now. But yeah, so Indiana's defense.
Go ahead.
Indiana's defense, with the loss of Wyatt, we've been discussing who his replacement is going to be, and Stephen Daly sounds like he's going to be the replacement. And you have both. We have a couple of guys behind him that could see some playing time, like we said, and I'm really interested on the front four how they play together. One thing that I've been thinking a lot about is how fast Lodano is on his feet too. I mean, you could almost throw him out at the defensive end position, and put the two big guys inside.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because we have two big defensive tackle.
Yeah.
That could play there and have him on the outside too. But everybody's telling me in the coaching world how fast and how strong Daly is.
Yeah.
He's a freak athlete.
Yeah, coach even said it live.
Yeah, he said
He's
it last
a
night.
freak athlete.
Now,
let's break it down about this kid. He played in the South. Okay, he played in the South where I don't care. I'm driving from Indiana to Florida, just in those states, right? Those line of states. These dudes have many colleges for high school.
Yeah.
And football there's all year round.
Yeah.
I feel like I would have a heyday down there, but I'm only 5'8".
Right.
155.
Yeah.
I'd get crushed. But this kid, man, watching some film on him on his old high school days.
He's a beast.
Oh, he's a beast, dude. I seen this one where they broke him down, right? He had a tackle pole on him.
Yeah.
Got him, put him on the ground, right? That next play, they did the same play to him. He lit that tackle and running back straight up.
I love it.
The kid has a lot of motivation. He's strong. He's smart. I have a lot of high hopes for him. I know, like the coach says, if you come here to play, you're going to play. But, you have to be smart, fast, relentless, and poised. And having him as the backup, which I hate saying backup because he's just as special as the runner-up.
Right.
He can do just the damage. I think the first game when they put him in, it was the first game jitters. Like, ooh, this is in front of 53,000 fans, and I've only been on special teams. Now I'm up here,
Yeah.
So now I think the way the defensive coaches have him right now, I think he's going to be ready to go for Saturday.
I
And
think so.
I think they're putting a little bit of extra on him right now and be
I
like,
think, yeah, Cooks and Haynes and
I think they're going to work with him. They worked with him a lot over this week, and I really think that he's going to show up.
I hope so.
I'm-
We'll need him.
I'm praying for the best for him because now he needs to step up. You know,
Yeah.
this is the part of also the football game that a lot of people don't understand. Oh, our starter got hurt. What are we going to do on that side now? Well, if that next man wants it as bad as he really wants, he's going to go in there and do exactly what that starter's done.
Right.
I mean, I was a backup,
Yeah.
you know, and that was my biggest motivation is that, okay, my starter's hurt. It's time for me to go in there and prove that I want to be.
I was the backup in hockey too. So I mean, and I always wanted to start. So I would always work really hard in practice, and I always got told I was, great for the team because I was an old style guy, old style goalie. When the modern stuff started happening for goalie, when they're always down on their knees. But anyway, yeah. So when you're so-called second string, the only half a second difference in a lot of those players. Not in some cases, not even. I don't care about stars. I don't care about stars. Don't really care about everybody's talking about stars, but the kid that brings the lunch bucket every day and is hungry and wants to eat, you can't teach that. You can't teach a guy with a chip on his shoulder. You can't teach that. You can't teach speed. You can't teach, the want to win the battles. Because you see players that weren't very high stars just on Indiana's roster that are all Americans now.
Yeah.
Those are the kids that I love to find. If I was a recruiter, if I was helping the coaches recruit for IU football, I'd be looking for them more than I'd be looking at the 5 stars. Because the 5 stars think that they already are the best in the world. And when,
Well, this is what's really nice about Daly. I just looked him up. He also played for Kent State.
yeah, small school.
Hold on. You're going to like this. He was a multi-sport player, too.
Yeah, he was.
So he started all 12 games for Kent, recorded 51 tackles, tailed 9 tackles for a loss, 27 yards, 4 sacks for 16 yards, contributed 1 forced football against Akon, 1 fumble recovered for St. Francis, 6 quarterback hurries, and 3 pass breakups in the season. That was in 2024. Still.
Yeah.
And guess who he rotates with? Kamara.
Right.
6'1", 260 pounds. From Winchester, Virginia.
Right.
And I can already tell you, just looking at this dude picture, he's crazy.
He's crazy.
So I was wrong. He wasn't born in the South. That's my bad. His high school was John Hanley. Is where he's from. He's like just looking at him. He a 3-sport athlete. He finished 3rd in the state in the 100-meter dash.
Yeah, I knew that.
I can't even do that. That's for 6'1", 260 pounds. Finished 3rd. Dude.
Big guy. Big guy.
He's a big guy, but
big guy fast, big guy.
yeah, that's scary. Coming to think, I was a slot receiver, and strong safety. That's still. I see him coming. I'm running the other way.
Looks like it's gonna hurt.
I've definitely said my fair share of cuss words before getting hit by someone a lot larger than me.
Right.
Then the other times it was just ouch, and I don't want to get up while my coach is dragging me to the sideline, looking like a dog with a bone that doesn't want to give up.
Has about my face mask. Come on, bud.
Yeah, in high school football, I wasn't that big either. I just had a lot of leverage. I was really good at leverage. Quickness with my feet. I had really quick feet coming off the line, so I'd be an outside linebacker, defensive end,
Yeah.
stuff like that. But yeah, I'm interested to see him play. I'm interested to see all of our defensive players, the cornerback and safety exchange this week. I like to see that better, and our defensive end last game blew a coverage. He was supposed to be in a zone coverage, and he blew it.
Yeah, that's like one thing that I'm always very strict about is communication. And not only that is that we do get to go to these playoffs. I said if we do, we can't have that happen.
Right.
That one touchdown could hurt us.
Right.
And then our offense has to make it up.
Statistically, they were saying last week on how our defense was didn't show up until later in the game. But if you look at the stats of it all, we played pretty damn well on defense.
Yeah. Granted, we came up on the second half and we showed up. But like that again, we can't have that. We have to come in all four.
Yeah, all four quarters.
Because you think of this out of this perspective, okay? Say somehow, these playoffs come into play, right? And we have to go against, I'm going to pick Vanderbilt. Or not Vanderbilt, but, whoever.
Texas Tech.
Texas Tech, okay? Those boys are going to come in at the first and the second quarter. And it's nothing but going to be pure, hard-hitting football.
Right.
And say that somehow the communication wasn't set and we're under another blown coverage. We play great in the second half. We get it tied up. Well, no, we don't have it tied up because we had blown coverage in the second quarter.
Right.
And we're down a touchdown now. We lost by a little. I don't like the sounds of that. Even that rolling off my tongue. Mm-hmm. Lost by a little. I don't like that. I like that we have the ambition and okay, this is how I need to communicate with my guy. We can't have the blown coverage. The moral level, we can't have it, period.
Yeah, and we've had that last couple of games. We've had that.
2 games.
2 games we've had that happen where we've had a blown coverage with communication.
No, 3, because if we're going to count... No. We can count the blown coverage against Oregon.
Corner safety.
We can call the blown coverage against Illinois. Corner safety. And then we had another one against Michigan State. What was blown coverage?
Defensive end corner, right?
It was middle linebacker.
Middle linebacker?
Fisher got caught.
Oh, I didn't know.
Number 2.
I didn't see that.
He ran dead up the middle.
Oh.
It was blown because he got sucked in. That was the first part. The first half of our game was us getting sucked in because we were too damn scared of the screen.
Yeah.
Like this just proves to the football fans around too is that whenever I'm watching football, I'm watching all right. What are these first 3 plays going to look like? Because you have different people, different offensive coordinators. You have run first, pass 2, pass first, run 2. The first 3 plays of the game
are going to signify what's going to happen later on.
Exactly. A playbook is like, football is more like chess if you really think about it.
Right.
If you really think about it, you have to be knowing what that move's going to be before that move's even going to come.
Right.
Well, our boys, whenever we get caught up in the blown coverage, we're already trying to play 2 or 3 paces ahead. You know, and not making that communication, because if you make that communication, that's where you're going to be able to be like, hey, you know, I'm going out here with this guy. You need to do X, Y, and Z.
Yeah.
You know, that's the biggest problem. There's no communication.
Yeah, and so much in football, especially football, in the back end, which is your cornerback, safeties,
Second level.
like linebackers. Yeah, they're all communicating with hand gestures.
Yeah.
You know.
Everything, you know, you got, you know, I mean, it follows up all the way through, you know, also through high school too. You know, you learn the different signals. You got your 4, you got your X, you got your, you know, coverage. You know, you have all these different ones, and you're communicating it. So as soon as, you know, you see number 4, Aiden Fisher, go running around looking at both sidelines doing this, you know, he's telling you it's time to lock on because there's probably a pass coming.
Right.
You know, and then you have the blitzes, you know, you have this and you have this. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
This is inside, this is outside.
Yeah.
You know, break, you know, like we have all these, you know, different things that that you have to learn on a basis and understanding, you know,
the signals will change every week.
Every week
the signals change, so no one can get your tendencies.
Like what do they call them? The guys out there in the different shirts. It's like something going on. Oh, Alvin and the Chipmunks. Look at Alvin and the Chipmunks. The guys with the different color shirts.
Yeah.
Look at them, because you're gonna see the different signals being made every time. They're never gonna run the same ones. Props to those guys. I remember when we had 3 QBs doing that.
Yeah.
But I'm sure a lot of people haven't noticed that.
Yeah.
But coming from a grandson of a coach and a son of a coach, you know.
Yeah.
I noticed a lot of little things.
The little things. You notice the little things. Even the defensive linemen doing their signals. The offensive linemen doing their signals. You know.
I want to see more motion like Oregon was doing to us.
Yeah, I would love to see more motion. You know, and I'm telling you, I've seen it a couple times this year where hoop coming across would be gone on a jet sweep, jet pass, whatever you would want to run.
Yeah.
And you could even do it, the option with whoever the running back is, to hand him the ball if they're over pursuing hoop. But
we need to get that safety to drop.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that.
We need to get him to drop to get him off Surratt.
Yeah.
If we get that safety to drop, you know, you're throwing up I'm going to call it a 9-10 pass. You know, like, it's like I'm watching, I've been watching film the whole entire time you've been talking, and I've been talking. Like, just watching these guys right now, you know, having the tight ends, they have a fake punt. I'm literally watching a fake punt. Number 21, running back.
Right.
You know, he's good. You know, you have.
Well,
they should have called. Oh, sorry. I was just watching that. I'm watching Michigan State and UCLA. You know, like that was a fault on Michigan State on that fake punt.
Yeah.
The dude's literally sitting there with his hands up like this, calling for the ball as a hike. You know what I mean? Giving it all up. At that point, you should see that.
Right. Yeah.
He's going, you can see his stomach rolling as he's saying hike. He's like, sit here, had his hands out for hike, trying to get him jump, and then the second the ball comes.
Yeah, they ran a couple of times. They ran that package on offense too. Wildcat, you know, they did that, and they did it pretty good too, because they didn't use just one quarterback or one there's 2 different running backs doing that and a quarterback doing that.
What we got? Sorry, I'm looking. Okay, number 6 is their starter. UCLA running back. Fast, nimble. He can run through people. He knows how to find the gaps in the outside very well. So whether that be Fisher's job or our, free safety or Strong, because they're in this game they're beating, like they're beating every single, like, their quarterbacks are getting beat. All of them are getting beat. So we just have to be ready. Number 2, wide receiver. He's their slot fast. He's super fast. Yeah, he got beat. Like I'm constantly always watching film, and film to me is almost like a religion. Watching all this stuff. Wow. Yeah, so that just proves my point there. He dropped it in the bucket on a 45-yard pass. Right in the bucket. Like that. All the wide receiver had to do was look over his shoulder and the ball was right there. Right in his arms. Just like this. He even caught it with his body.
Yeah.
He went, thank you.
I'm curious too. I'm just going to throw this. This is kind of like a curveball type thing, but I really would be interested in Monday Night Football coming up this week. You know why? Joe Buck is an Indiana grad.
Yeah.
Troy Aikman.
Yeah.
Where did he graduate from?
No.
UCLA.
Yeah.
So, Troy's been jumping on the Indiana bandwagon. Really has. So it's going to be funny to see those two. Whoever has a back bragging rights. Joe's been saying Indiana football on TV for a while. So it's going to be it's going to be good to see.
God, that kid's so fast.
Yeah.
Like that's just insane. Yeah, they have different running backs for different plays.
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
Just like, wow. No, I'm very interested to see how this plans out. It's gonna be a hard fought game.
Yeah, Anthony Woods, he's a junior, has played 6 games. He's had 43 carries for 222 yards, 5.16 yards per carry, all-purpose 222, 117 receiving, 36 pick return yards, 375 total yards for 62.5 yards a game. So, yeah, he's good, And then you have Jaden Thomas, that is, first 6 games, 50 carries for 219 yards and 1 rushing. 219 rushing yards, 50 receiving yards, 44.8 yards a game. He transferred from Cal, so guess who was his quarterback?
Yeah.
Jalen Berger is a senior. He hasn't been seeing the ball much, but he's been doing really well. He has 35 carries for 167 yards in 6 games, 45 receiving yards, 167 all-purpose yards. So he's bounced around a lot with other teams. So they share their responsibilities like we do.
Yeah.
And at this stage of football, you have to have multiple players that can come in at the running back position and play.
Right.
Nico has 1,355 passing yards, 10 touchdowns, 5 interceptions, and yards per attempt, 8.1. A quarterback rating of 138. Rushing yards, 174 with 2 rushing touchdowns. He has 10 sacks on him. One thing I'm really curious to see this week is people have been talking that D'Angelo Pons is getting off one of the top cornerback positions. And I'm like, these people that are saying this, do they watch film?
Right.
How many times do people throw
His way.
Like, interceptions are great. It's great for cornerback, safety, whoever. Defensive tackle have an interception. I don't care.
Right.
But, seeing how many times they throw to him, and in the last couple of weeks, I haven't seen many people targeted in his way at all.
No, you don't. And seeing, who we have in that, backfield there and going against him, he's proven time and time again, he's a smaller guy.
Yeah.
But man, that dude's a ball hawk.
He's a baller. He's one of my top ballers in the nation, actually, at the cornerback position. I think. I'm not saying that because I'm a homer. I'm saying that because it's true.
Yeah, it is.
His eye discipline, is how he plays the ball, his footwork. It's all amazing. And the guy on the other side of him, Jamari Sharp, man, he's starting to repair. I told that kid last year. I told Jamari face to face, play hard, work hard in practice, play well in special teams, and you're going to be a starter and you're going to do great. And this year, he's proven it to me.
Yeah.
And I said that to him last year. And if you ask him, I'm sure he'll tell you that. I told him that last year. So, I'm really impressed with Jamari.
I actually called you whenever you were with him, and you told me, "Hey, 1 second, I'm with Jamari right now. We're talking right now." So, like, the kid, like, given
great kid, man, such a nice kid.
He is, but like, if
he's a Tom Allen disciple, he came from Tom Allen.
I feel like back then they kind of like, hovered over him a little bit too much. You know what I mean by that? Like, they kind of closed him in a little bit too much. But I think Coach Sig and the defensive coordinators,
Coach Ola,
they gave him more room for his wings to come out.
Right.
And that's what builds you as a player, having a little bit more of that freedom, time in the film room, getting that extra practice in. Because the biggest flaw I feel like I would have in that position is being able to sleep the night before the game. Because you're under a lot of stress right now.
Yeah.
You're the second in the nation. Going up against one of the best QBs in the nation.
I agree with you there.
And having those little butterflies in your stomach, like, if that ball comes my way, it needs to be my ball. No one else's. Mine. That's how I was. When, like, this was middle school, back then, and my eye discipline was the same.
You had very good eye discipline, and you had we had more than one interception.
I had 6. I had 6 picks, and I had 2 pick sixes.
Yeah.
And it all starts having discipline, and I know Jamari has a lot of it. He has a lot of discipline, and I don't care what anyone says. They can sit up there in them booths. They can sit there on the field. They can sit there right in front of the dang football. Having discipline like Jamari does takes time. It takes a lot of time. And it takes a lot of time getting yelled at.
Yeah, and I'm really proud of him. Moore is another one. Yeah.
I'm happy. Thank God we have him.
We have a lot of great players in this backfield. I just hope they're all ready to play some football tomorrow.
I'm. It's like this game. I keep on saying it on other podcasts, shows, whatever.
Yeah.
I keep saying this. People are saying that UCLA is just like we're gonna walk all over. Just statistically, I disagree with that.
I disagree.
It's gonna be a tight game, folks. We have to show up. We have to be big. The crowd, the 12th man has to be loud.
Like I don't care, and I'll say it again. I said it on Tuesday. I'll say it again. Anything can happen on any given Saturday. It all decides who shows up.
Yeah, I'm really thinking. I've been trying to convince some cohorts of mine of going out to Maryland, and everybody's saying, well, you should go to Purdue because they're trying to do a red out at Purdue.
I heard about that.
Yeah, they're trying to buy all the tickets up at Purdue as Indiana fans to take over the stadium. To me, the bigger game is Maryland.
Yeah.
I really would like to go to that. I don't think that it's going to happen with everything that's going on right now in our family's lives. So
yeah, and Maryland is a beautiful city.
College Park's a beautiful place.
I loved it over there. I almost flew away, believe it or not. I was young when we went there, and the wind was so bad. Dad had to almost grab me a couple times because it was knocking me back, and it was kind of fun. I'm not.
Yeah, we were in the Capital District.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're pretty close to there.
It's a beautiful place. I would love to go revisit. I think Maryland's going to be a bigger game versus Purdue. But like I've always said, anything can happen on any given Saturday. And
yeah,
I'm focused. I'm focused on what's now.
Yeah, this game.
And me sleeping tonight is going to be very minimal because I don't know. I think this is my father's fault, my grandfather's fault. I beat this in my head that I have to know every little play. And if I question myself twice about it, I have to go back and rewatch.
You know what really sucks for me is because I can't get to the film anymore that I really want to see. I want to see how the defensive tackle's hands are, the offensive guard's hands.
Yeah.
The center's what he's looking at.
Yeah.
I miss that film. I can't get that anymore, but I miss when it's in-depth film. Like the true getting right in the middle of things film.
Yeah.
Because the coaches, they get film that they have several different views and angles of what's going on.
Yeah.
And now, what's amazing to me now, it's live on the sideline. Back when I was playing, we didn't have cell phones. We didn't have iPads. We had none of that.
Yeah.
So our film was like literally film.
Yeah.
I
remember when there was one person recording it out of a booth. Like, this is my time.
Right.
There was one person with a big camera watching us.
Yeah.
And if you were lucky, you were real lucky if you were the other man on the other side of the field because he wasn't zoomed in on you.
Right.
Because if you messed up, you might just got away with it. Unfortunately for my coach, I never got away with it. However, there has been a time when, some stuff was exchanged. Just saying.
But hey, I'm really excited for this game this weekend. We have gone over the time that I wanted to do it. It's been an hour, and we didn't really get in everything I wanted to discuss. So should we stay or should we go?
I say we stay. I got nothing to do up until
we're going to stay, I guess, a little longer because we haven't discussed.
Let's talk more about. Let's stay on track here. So what was another thing you wanted to discuss?
I want to discuss matchups.
Matchups.
Yeah. Okay. So Kamara versus the defense or the offensive tackle.
He's gonna want it. He's gonna want it because getting those guys pressured on the inside to stop the run, to make Nico feel pressured is when he slips up. He is known for it.
Yeah.
Known for it out of Tennessee. Known for it now. The one thing that I've always hated what the critics say, we do have one of the best defensive lines in college football.
Right.
I do have a belief that the point of attack is going to be at that line of scrimmage to get everybody off their feet a little bit. So he's going to have to be the man, being that leader. He's going to have to be that guy that can't get tired. He has to blow through these guys. So I think there's going to be a win on that with him, with that matchup. And no one can really argue with me about that.
Yeah, Tucker against the guards.
Tucker against the guards, the same thing as Kamara. He's gonna want it.
Yeah.
These guys at the front line have to be ready to play some physical football. UCLA is a physical team, so you have to be able to play the physical football.
Yeah, our front people. I'll say our front four, but it's really three.
Yeah.
Our front four, and even the guys. I hate to say number two. The guys that come in and rotate in are very good on our defensive line.
Yeah. Like I've always said, I hate calling people backups.
Yeah.
Because these guys are just as special as the starters.
Right.
I'll
go all the way to the practice squad players.
Yeah, those guys.
I call practice squad every week.
But you think those guys are the ones that have to watch these schemes and make up the schemes for our front lines to be ready for it. So there's a lot of props to them.
Yeah, it is.
But even with the guys that rotate, fresh body, get yourself some water, get yourself ready, because once you go back out there again, it's a never-ending war until the fourth quarter goes 0-0-0.
Yeah.
And you're gonna want it. And that's where it's gonna start. It always starts right there.
People, I don't think people understand that scout team players are so important.
They're very important.
Very important, because they're going to show you what you're playing against.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The guy that's going to be Nico this week at practice is important.
Yeah.
We had a guy on our team a couple of years back, Xander Beamont. And he was always the guy that was the quarterback for dual threat quarterbacks. And he was a very good quarterback.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And the coaches at the time were like, well, he's not tall enough. He's not, but he was a very good quarterback.
Well, what are they going to say about Mendoza's little brother then? Because watching film, he's a little bit smaller than his big brother.
Yeah.
But he was just as tall as the guy you were talking about.
Yeah. Well, I know. I'm not saying that. I'm just trying to say that people don't understand. Most people don't understand when you're a scout team player, whatever you want to call them.
Yeah.
But how important those players are to a team.
Yeah.
How good your scout team is, how good your team is.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Definitely.
So, what we've been able to do with the coaching staff here has been very impressive, because how strong you are is how weak your weakest link is.
Yeah.
And we have been the guys. If any of you are watching that are the players on the scout team, I'm so proud of you, because people don't see what I see. And I see that you guys are working really hard. And every practice you're showing up and you're getting better. and you will have a chance if you keep on doing that to go play in the future. So that's just a quick thing.
Yeah,
But
these matchups,
Mendoza versus the secondary.
Mendoza versus secondary. Where's the second? Oh, you're talking about like the strong safeties, linebackers, and cornerbacks secondary. Or you're talking about there's a secondary.
The cornerbacks, the safeties, linebackers.
Yeah. This is where I think that it comes to prime that Mendoza has played against this format before playing a Cal. Now we've seen what he's done to Oregon because he also played against Oregon when he was at Cal.
Right.
He understands. And that's a great thing about the good thing about Mendoza is that he is such a smart quarterback.
Yeah, he's.
And the way that he's changed from when I seen him in spring football to now.
Yeah, his
Footwork has been.
The change has been amazing to me. Shout outs to the co-offensive coordinator, quarterback coach, because he's really can tell. I can really tell. I can tell his footwork is just 10 times better than it was.
Yeah.
And his eye discipline is better than what it was. His overall looking into the different coverages is a lot better than it was.
So
He's been really well coached this year.
With what coach said last night, and you're probably about maybe 30 minutes away from Bloomington. Whenever you run into situations like this, especially with Mendoza, you have the friendly Mendoza and then the everything about football Mendoza, and after the football game, it's more football for Mendoza. The matchup that I see with him could go two ways. That's how football is. It goes
Right.
two ways. I've seen what he can do against a Power 5 school such as Oregon.
Right.
He is smart, disciplined kid that the matchup, he's going to have to do everything almost perfect every time.
Yeah.
Every time.
Yeah.
Because like I said,
he's a perfectionist anyway.
Right.
I can tell that.
And if he has to be calm and collective coming into this, because UCLA, just like they did the Penn State, just like they did the Maryland, for every bad play that they had, they made them pay for it.
Yeah.
They made them pay for it. So, not trying to harp on Mendoza here. He knows more than I do. Stay strong. Keep your composure. Be ready. Fire that gun like you're always good at.
Right.
But, man, I think the matchup with Mendoza and UCLA's defense, this is prime time. This is time to go. You have a lot of people watching. You have a lot of critics right now. You got to prove wrong, and it's time.
Right.
Let me go grab that.
Yeah, some kind of package just came in. So our dog is
Yeah.
she's upset because she heard noises. But yeah. So the other matchup I'm really curious at is at our running back position, because I think that our best pass blocking running back. Who do you think that is?
Hemby.
Yeah, I do too.
Hemby by a long shot.
And that's why I think that Kobe Martin hasn't been seen in the field as much, because he's not a great picking up the blitzes.
Right, but Martin to me is more of a speed back than anything. Hemby is a big body.
Right.
He's a big body and moving. He's physical. Martin, he's probably just as tall, just as big. But when you come to a coaching perspective on that side, you gotta have someone that has proven time and time again that he can pick something up like that.
Right.
And he's that man.
He's young.
Yeah.
He's a young running back.
And I don't know,
then
is Martin a sophomore?
He's a redshirt sophomore. I think.
Redshirt sophomore?
Or
Well, then
freshman.
he has time to correct and, to build himself and character-wise,
Yeah, and Black, of course, he's a redshirt senior. He's been around the block for a while now. Come with Coach.
Now, do we lose Black next year?
Yes.
We do? Okay.
But he's been this year he's been amazing.
Amazing, yeah.
And, he's really taken on that
Role. Yeah.
And talking about a freak of nature, athletically.
Athletically, that guy's.
He's like a rock chisel or something. And he hits that hole hard and low.
Oh, and he lets you know when he's there. And you
Yeah.
get in front of him. There's two things that's going to happen here. You're
gonna
going to move out of his way or it's going to hurt.
Okay, so yeah, I'm really excited for this game. I think it's gonna be closer than what people think, and I think that IU will win this game, but it's gonna be closer than what
We think.
than people think.
Yeah.
I really do. With that, we've been on the air now for 1 hour and 16, 17 minutes. So good day, everybody. Let's be out there tomorrow. Okay, let's be out there tomorrow and be proud of our team. Have a good day, everybody. Love you. God bless. Let's kick some ass.
Hey!